Shalom. Assalamu alaikum, my friends. Now I'm going to teach everybody a great mystery, and I'm going to teach you a great, how can I put it in? I know what this, how can I put it into word? So Muhammad is speaking about things that later on science or something comes to an understanding to say, oh, look, Muhammad was right. How could this guy who lived way long ago before technology and all this stuff have any idea about these things? I'm going to teach you guys a great mystery and secret on how he did it. Are you ready for this? I'm going to use the moon. Oh yes, Imam al-Mahdi always uses the moon. You know, I said in a thing on my Facebook to the people in Afghanistan and Pakistan, Uzbekistan, the Rani Khorasan. I said to them one day, King David met God and he took up a star banner. You know, a star is the sun. And King Dawud took up a star banner. Okay. And then Muhammad, who is part of Abraham, but he is separate child, he's Ishmael. So Isaac took up star, and Ishmael, Muhammad, he took up the moon. All right? You understand that? So why does Imam al-Mahdi always appear in the moon? Meaning, why do I always use the moon in trying to teach things to people? And I'm going to explain it and expose the great mystery of the moon. I had a guy one time, he's sending me all the time about the 12 cycles or something. He is saying something about, I guess it's a teaching of some sect that's part of Islam, where they talk about the moon and the phases, and then they like certain phases have passed. We are waiting for these phases to go, this and that. I kind of know what he's talking about, but he doesn't know what he's talking about, so I have to guess kinda. So I'm thinking this is what he is giving a hint about. But this what I'm going to show you has nothing to do with that guy. It's just that I wanted to share with you that I use the moon quite a bit, that maybe you people on YouTube don't even get to see, because my Facebook is only found in Khorasan of Afghanistan. So let's dive into this video. Make sure I got it good for you to see. And let's begin.
If you look up into the sky on a clear night, most likely you will notice the moon. You will also notice that it doesn't look the same every night. Welcome to Moo Math and Science and the phases of the moon. The moon revolves around the Earth roughly every 27 days. As it revolves around the Earth, it goes through phases. Here's what these phases look like. But why does this happen? The sun, Earth, and moon, along with their movements, causes the phases of the moon. The Earth revolves around the sun, and the moon revolves around the Earth. Let's take a look at this. The moon cycle, or lunar cycle, begins at new moon. Here's the alignment of new moon.
Now we're going to stop right here, because I don't need much more of this video, because I'm going to use this as a guide to explain something in a previous video of how I spoke about the Father, the Son, and the Moon, and how it worked. Like the Son squandered his stuff, he repented, he came back to his Father, and you know the story if you watch the video that I made right before this video. So here is the Earth, and this is where the flesh is at, okay? The moon is going to be a metaphor for our condition. For the people on the earth, your condition is the moon. And in fact, the moon pulls on the water creates tidal waves, and creates condition for the earth. Okay? So the moon is a representation of the condition, and the sun is the representation of righteousness, holiness, goodness, life, all that stuff. That's part of the Most High God. Okay? Now, as this is revolving, as you've seen in that thing, the moon does not rotate. Okay? It stays the same. But it moves around, and the sun goes and it's shining its light on whichever part the moon is in contact with that, creating those phases that you saw. Okay? Now, as the moon is circling around, you notice that sometimes the moon has darkness on it. Sometimes the moon has light. Sometimes you see the crescent moon, which is like the banners, right? And sometimes you have the full moon and all its glory and brightness is shining. And then sometimes you don't see the moon at all because it's behind the earth and the sun is hitting the earth, which we call this a lunar eclipse or solar eclipse. I can't forget. It's one of the eclipses, right? And as it comes over here, the earth itself has now blocked it. Here's the condition. Okay. So I don't think we'll need that now because I can stand here and explain the condition now. All right. So I want to say it in proper manners, right? So as the sun, as the moon is going around, that moon, I am going to take myself and represent myself. I am like the moon, okay? I am not the sun. I am only the moon, all right? I only reflect that which, when the light hits me at a certain time when I'm revolving, the light hits me and you can see the reflection. Sometimes it's only a little bit of reflection. Sometimes it's half of the reflection. Sometimes it's a third. Sometimes it's a quarter. And then sometimes it's a full glowing moon. This is my condition. Always on one side of the moon is always dark. That is because it's flesh. Representation. Remember what I'm talking about. The moon itself, not flesh. But bear with me so you understand. This is what Muhammad is seeing. All right. This is what Jibril and Michael and all the angels, they sometimes show us. The workings of God. And they remind us of the signs that God put in heaven. And he says, I will put the sun and the moon, I will create two great lights, and they will be for signs and for seasons. All right. Now, as the eclipses are taking place, or as the cycles are also taking place, we understand how many cycles does the moon have, right? You know the cycles of the moon. So sometimes I am facing away from the sun, and there is the earth that is in front of me, and the sun is on the other side. So I'll turn around this way. So the sun is there, its light is on me, and as you see my body, so I'm turning, you see the shadow moving, okay, off my body until finally, we away from the sun, it's dark now. All right, you understand the movement? All right. This is my condition. When I am not aware and focus on the sun, I am in darkness and sin. Understand? Now, why is one side of the moon always dark? It's because we are flesh. Flesh is corrupt. Therefore, at least half of us is going to be struggling with the other half. That's nature, okay? And the spirit. So, as long as I'm facing the sun, my condition, I am not in sin. I am full of light, reflecting that glory of the great sun that gives life unto all things. You see it for yourself, right? You have the understanding? I'm showing you the living, so we prove it in the living, not in words and books and dead man graves. I'm giving you a video of life, all right? So there it is. It's like this. Now I'm moving away from the sun a little bit. Oh, look, I'm committing a little bit of sin. Oh, look. Oh, more sin. More sin. Oh, my condition is getting worse, everyone. Oh, it's getting worse. Oh, no, now I'm in the dark. Oh, I'm so afraid. I am so scared. I am full of sin. I am now najis. I am haram. Oh, I am haram. Oh, but look, all of a sudden, now on this side, now I have a little bit of goodness now. Oh, the light is back. The struggle is becoming easier and easier. The jihad is easy now. Easy. Oh, now I'm facing the sun. The struggle has been lifted and we are in the great glory of the light. Do you understand? Sometimes, as the story I was telling you about the sun, the moon, and the Father, God taking the moon, he said, oh, I'm going to make you like the sun. A little bit lesser. I make two great lights, one to rule the day and the lesser to rule the night. Why is it lesser to rule the night? Because even though I may be in darkness and in sin, I do know that the Most High God is most merciful, most beneficial. Right? You say it in the beginning of when you read the Quran, yes? Most merciful, most beneficial he is. So I remember that I know that my condition is not forever. I know I'm praying, I'm struggling, I'm jihading within myself to try to keep myself from sin. Maybe sometimes I'm backsliding. I mess up, I screw up, I cussed and I didn't want to, I smoked, I didn't want to, I did this, I didn't want to, I did that, I didn't want to, but I did it, I fell for the trickery of Shaitan. And I remember, though, I know he is most merciful. He is always there. I know he is there. I know he is there. I cannot see him, but I know he's there. And as I turn, a little bit of light hits me. Oh, Most High God. If only I could touch his robe. If only I can just, right? And I know I'd be clean. And so as I rotate, I am waiting to see that light and get out of my sin, get out of my dead man grave, and rise with the sun. You know how the sun, they say, is rising. It's not really rising, it stays there. But because we are moving, we want to be the ones to rise with the sun. Oh, we're rising with the sun. Look at us. Oh, look, now we're becoming fuller and fuller. We have gone through different phases, different seasons that the word was given to different flocks and folds. And this word is now, right? You understand the seasons, the phases of the moon? And it's rotating. Maybe here we had the law. That's all we had was Musa law. And maybe here we had some more prophets show up. Oh, then maybe here we had some other things going on. Some kings popped up that were righteous and good and followed the Most High God. And then once we get fully turned and we are facing the moon, that's Isa. Or the sun, that's Isa. Now we are facing the sun and all the glory that it shines forth upon us. And we are reflecting that glory upon the darkness of the earth to give it a little bit of light. I am trying to give you a little bit of light that I have and share it. Understand? So as we are rotating, we are doing that. And now we are in the full glory. Now the other part, the eclipse. What is the eclipses? What do they represent? All right? Because everything is for sign of seasons, right? For signs and seasons. For signs and seasons. Not just winter, summer, fall. Oh, for signs as well, like what I'm teaching you. It's a great sign. This is a great mystery. It's a great wonder to have this to knowledge right here that I'm sharing with you. You should appreciate it. I didn't have to tell you. Sometimes I have things that I have not shared with you because I don't think you people are ready for it yet. Or maybe you'll learn it and you'll become boastful and you want to attack someone without having mercy. Remember, He is most merciful, beneficial. And don't treat people because you have something that and you understand if you know something they have not known yet. Because remember, that which is haram, God can make halal. That which is najis, God can make clean again. All right? So in this, now the earth. Now we get the earth in front of us. So here the moon is, I'm facing directly. I'm supposed to have the full glory. But the earth is in the way. And the earth is blocking the light. Well, that is me squandering away. Into the world I go, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm looking at and partaking of all the things that the world has to offer me. And I'm looking upon it. I'm not looking at the sun. The sun has been blocked. I am only seeing the earth and all the things that are on that. And this is what I am absorbing. This is what I'm blowing my money on this. Prostitutes and sinning and drugs and alcohol, foul things, right? I'm doing and spinning it because I'm on the face of the earth. And then we move a little bit and the earth is moving and the moon moves and we separate. And then finally, I'm back in my cycle again, right? We back in that rotation again. And then sometimes you get the solar eclipse. Now, what is the solar eclipse about, right? Because then you have the earth is here, and then the moon is right there. Well, that is when you are most in the presence. When I am most in the presence, when the earth is behind me, I have forgotten her. I don't care for her things, all her delicacies, all her whoredoms. I don't care if she is behind me. I am beholding the glory of the Most High God in His saving arm that He has sent unto Miriam as a gift for repentance for all of us. I am beholding that. You understand now? And these are for signs and for wonders so that we have understanding about ourselves and our sin, our backsliding, how merciful God can be. Even though we might not be able to see Him, He is going to be there. We may fall, we may sin, He's going to be there. Even though we may get influenced and troubled by the ways of the earth whenever it's in front of us, we know it's just for a season. This too shall pass. And now we can have a solar eclipse, right? Now you want to talk about the blood moon. Should I tell them about the blood moon, God, of what that means? It is not the proper season yet, he says. I cannot reveal that yet. I will in due season. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum, my friends.